Shaggie Trip here. Today I'm going to spend some time out in the sun versus watching and researching the sun on the computer today. It's a nice day, so I'm going to get out and I'm going to slow cook a tri-tip. This is about 3.5 pounds. You can see it's got a fat cap on it. I'm going to clean this up to about 1/8 inch thick. I'm going to leave some of the fat cap on there. I have some bourbon barrel oak here. It's oak that used to be a barrel. So what I'm going to do is smoke it. I have some wood here. It's a bourbon barrel oak. So it's an oak. It used to be a bourbon barrel. I got a hold of this from a friend. So I'm going to smoke it with that, and I'm also going to take some of the water it's soaking in and put it in a water pan. I really want to try and infuse this piece of meat with that smoky flavor, that bourbon flavor. It's going to be a simple rub. It's going to be 2-part pepper, 1 part sea salt, and I'm going to put maybe a 1/4 part garlic powder, minced powder, or garlic salt. So I'm going to get it cleaned up and seasoned, get the coals going. I'm going to run it about between 250 275. I expect it to be about a 2-hour cook, and I look for an internal temperature of 135. It's pretty easy, so let me get this cleaned up and seasoned, and we'll get outside to the grill. Alright, I wanted to show you a few things, or one thing in particular, before I get this seasoned up. You can see I got it cleaned up. There's a little bit of silver skin up here on this tip that I got rid of. I want just under 1/8. I just left a nice little skin of fat on there. I want it to penetrate into that, melt away. But if you look at the grain of the meat, now you're going to want to cut across the grain for this particular piece of meat. And you see the grain at this point runs this way, and at that point it starts going a different direction. So when I cut it, you'll be able to see the natural break in the grain. After it's done cooking, I'm going to cut it, and then I'll be able to cut this one upwards and then come down the piece like this, because you against this grain. So I just want to point that out. And okay, Shaggie Trip back here at the grill. Tri-tip's ready. I made a couple potato bombs to go along with it, consisting of some bacon, a little bit of garlic salt, parsley, and Amish butter in there, and wrap them up. We got tri-tip simple rub. 2-part pepper, ground pepper, 1 part sea salt, and 1/4 part some garlic salt with a little bit of parsley flakes. Got the grill up to temp. Now I'm showing you to do this on a grill. You don't need a big smoke or anything. I have the fat cap on. Some people don't. As always, I do test runs for you all, and we'll see how this one turns out. So I got to get this on, and in 45 minutes I'm going to check it. Okay, we're pretty much 1 hour in. At the 45-minute mark, I came out. A couple fresh coals on top, and got some onions on there, and moved the potatoes up. So let's see. So I have my onions caramelizing. So what I'm going to do now is flip this. I got 1 more hour to go, but in 30 minutes I'm going to check temp. I'm shooting for a 130. I'm going to put it on heat. And I'm doing a reverse sear, so I'm searing it at the end. So we're going to flip it over. Now we're going to close the lid for 30 minutes, let this stuff caramelize up, and see what we got temp-wise in 30. Alright, we're back at the grill. 1.5 hours. And I forgot my spoon. Alright, we're 1.5 hours in 30 minutes. going pretty good. And that's the bad point. Potatoes feel great. This is what we're looking at right now. We're check temp. Shooting for 130 temperature before we sear it. Alright, so we've hit our temp. We're going to sear it off. Turn directly into the hot coals. Leave that about a minute per side. Let's see what we got. Alright, we just pulled this off the grill. I did a reverse sear. This fat cap up. I'm going to do a final temp check just so we know where we're at. It's been an hour and 30-minute cook so far. Start, and it's going to work. So let's do a run on it and see what we got for a temp. I'm expecting it to go up, so I'm a little nervous at this point. Let's see where it ends up. Stopped at 140, it's at 144 right now. Hour and a half at 250 to 275 on the grill. Bourbon barrel oak. So at 144, we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes. And then I will flip it, fat cap down and cut it up. So as this is resting, let's go over what we did today. 3.5 fat cap on. Trimmed it down to a little less than an eighth. I did score it, rubbed it with olive oil, sea salt, black pepper, garlic, and with some parsley in it. That was about 30 minutes prior to putting it on the grill. Threw it on the grill, and it was running 250, 275. It's more 1 hour bourbon barrel oak. So I'll show you what that looks like. As you can see, it's cut into chunks. You can see where they burnt the inside of the barrel. And nice piece of oak there. Smells great. So that's what we smoked with, and it's resting right now. I'm going to get the potatoes off and the onions, and you can either have it on a bun with a sandwich and or cut it up. Eat it any way you want. We'll get back to the cutting. Okay, I'm coming back out to the grill so I can show you the setup. What I used. I still got a few minutes before I cut it. I have a little self-contained charcoal thing there. I used that to restrict me on using too much coal. I did not want to run too hot of a temp. I did throw a water pan in it with some of the water that the bourbon barrel oak soaked in. There's many ways to cook this piece of meat. It's a great piece of meat. We're going to find out when we cut it here in about 3 minutes. So I just wanted to make sure you've seen the grill set up, and we'll get back to the meat. Alright, we're going to cut this up. And here's where we get into the grain of the meat. I can see right now, because I did a simple Texas style rub on it with salt and pepper, I can split it right here because I see the grain going that way. So I'm going to cut it right here. Now what I want to do is spin against this grain and start slicing. I'm going to do a slight bias cut on it. Remember, I got it to temp of 130, and then at that point I seared it for about a minute, minute and a half on each side, pulled it out, brought it in, and it temped out at 144, I believe. Rested for 10 minutes, and you can see what we're ending up with here. So let me come on this side, still cutting this one up. Slight bias against the grain now. Notice how I spun this. I can see the grain of the meat. I'm going about a 1/4 inch thick. Some people like it thinner, but personally I like a little girth. So I'm going to throw that on, shots of this. And I'll plate it up and we'll see what she looks like plated. Okay, there's the final look. I left the caramelized onions on the side so you can see the meat. It's nice rare. Pulled at 140, 144. A little shea butter, and there's the potato bombs. Hope you liked the video.